Hello and welcome to Corner Office. I'm Dan Guindon alongside Mayor Arthur Vigeant. Mayor, how are you?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, good. It's been a little while since we've talked, but a few things have been going on. One of which is you've appointed Kevin Breen as the new Marlboro Fire Chief.
I have.
Can you talk about what made him the best pick?
Well, we had a pretty extensive process. We hired MRI to go out and do a search for chiefs, and we did get applications from all over the country. And they kind of culled it down to 5 individuals, all from the New England area. And then we had a full day assessment center. Started about 7:30, ended about 5:30 that night. There were about 21 individuals involved in just battering the 5 of them all day. Between interviews, we did leadership training program, we did presentations. I mean, and I was able to sit back and observe the whole day. It was really a learning experience for myself to see how they did it. They basically came down to a couple individuals, and I want to tell you that both these guys, I could have flipped a coin and been very comfortable with either one. In fact, the night before the decision, it was kind of like hoping that one of them dropped out, so I didn't have to decide. But it was fantastic. 2 great guys, and Kevin was able to start right away. So I felt, we had a good relationship. I actually went up and visited him in Salem to kind of pop in and have a little sit down, and I think we had some rapport together, and I'm really excited about him starting. He's been down there for the last week, working with Chief Harold, and just the whole process was pretty intensive. We had a committee of 5 individuals that are just unbelievable. They were professionals all the way through and through. We had Paul Burke, retired fire chief from Needham, that was on the panel. Mike Moyton, the Medway town administrator, who has been on several of these committees in the past. Retired captain from the Boston Fire Department. Our own Steve Kramer was on the committee. Tom Gatzunas, who is the Commissioner of Public Safety in Boston, and our own interim chief, Chief Harold, that spent time down in Danbury, Connecticut. So they were the ones actually doing the interview process. But what an interesting day, and Kevin just did a fantastic job. I'm so excited that we've come to an agreement. I'll be sending his name down to the council for confirmation, and I think he's kind of excited about coming down here. Similar sized department up in Salem, and had some issues up there that he straightened out, and we got a great department with a lot of good guys, and they need some real stable leadership, and I think Kevin's going to bring that to them.
Well, it sounds like with that process, every base was covered.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. We had a great group, and like I said, it was all day, all day.
Yeah.
From 7:30 to 5:30, there was no downtime at all. Yeah. So it was a long process, but like I said, it was important for me to be part of it and involved in that.
Yeah. Now, is there a particular date set with the City Council for the confirmation?
No, not yet. I'll be like I said, I'll be sending Kevin's name down at the next meeting, and he's already getting himself comfortable down at the department, and I think he's going to be a great fit. He really is. I think the men and women down there they'll take to him well, and just a good guy.
Good. The public service internship program that started, that's underway. Can you talk about this year's crop?
Well, we actually have, I think, 11 or 12 college kids that have started for us, and I think we have 10 of the high school kids, some working for the city, some in companies throughout the city. It's a great program to give the kids a little bit of work experience. Gives the college people something actually working, doing tasks that we don't have time to do every day in the offices. We have one up here for the 4th year in a row in my office, and again, it's getting some of those projects done that you just don't have time to do that are important to get done. So they're in the conservation department, they're in housing, they're in my office. They're down in the health department. They're up at the library.
Yeah.
So they're really all over the city, and it's just a great program because it's great to be able to help out some of the youth of the city, but also it gets some things accomplished. We're not looking just to have people sitting around all day long.
Right.
They actually have to get in there and get in on time and look presentable and get the job done.
Yeah.
And so it's been a great program. We're happy to keep it going.
Yeah. Well, every business and every city and town, they all have those busy work projects that you just don't always have time to get to, and that's where interns can help.
And thank the City Council again for funding that, because without the funding, we wouldn't have it. We are fortunate this year. The Attorney General Healy provided funding for one of our high school students. I want to thank her for that. It's great that everyone participates and see how important it is to keep a program like that going.
Yeah. Now, as of today's taping, there's a press conference to announce the Grand Marshal of the Labor Day Parade. So, wanted to ask you how you guys came to that choice.
Actually, the parade committee established a parade committee 3 years ago when I realized that Ed was doing the whole thing himself, and it had been done that way in the past, and my feeling was we needed a group of people involved in case something did happen, that there'd be a group to be able to pick it up and run with it. And Melanie's been great in leading that team, but they came up with Darren McLaughlin, which was a great choice. I mean, he's been involved in so many things, usually behind the scenes. He's not the front guy at anything, but he arranges for the youth to go to their post-prom down at Wayside, and they have run of the whole place for the night. I've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to actually work it on 2 different occasions. So it was a real experience being there from 12 to 6 or 7 in the morning. He runs the road races that do great things for raise money for some of the nonprofits in the city. And great choice. Looking forward to watching him ride in the parade.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's move into something else with the Citgo gas station on Bolton Street. That's been an ongoing cleanup. Where does that stand right now?
We're having our second meeting tonight, as a matter of fact. We had a secondary spill earlier this year, and my feeling was it was important for the city to kind of take the lead on this. We had kind of turned it over to DEP, where things were continuing to progress, but there wasn't a lot of information getting to the residents. It's a very, very long process. I've had a meeting with the secretary about it, Secretary Beaton. He was gracious enough to come to Marlboro and see the situation, and I told him how we need to streamline those, the process and the timeline when there's a neighborhood involved. They're keeping on the schedule to getting it cleaned up, but it's just unacceptable the way it's moving. And we have 2 neighbors that hit the hardest with this, and we're working with our state legislature. Senator Eldridge and Daniel Gregoire and Gentile have been great in listening, but there's not a lot of money available to try to help. There's a 21J money that basically we spent $1.5 million up there so far. From this point, it goes on to the property owner that owns the gas station. But like I said, we have the commissioner coming out to the meeting tonight, and we really need to keep the neighbors informed as to what's going on, the timeline, make sure they stick to the timeline, there's no extensions or anything, and work with the DEP in trying to shorten that window. And that's where we are right now, is trying to shorten the cleanup period, and make that neighborhood so it's safe and they don't have the disruptions they've had for so long.
Now, are these homeowners, are they invited to this meeting, or is this like,
No, this is a neighborhood meeting,
good.
Really to update on what's been going on for the last month. We had our first meeting last month. Just to keep them updated, tell them the progress. They've felt like they've been out of the loop, and I can't blame them for that. because we don't, as a city, we don't have a lot of say in the whole thing. The EP kind of takes over the process. We've even tried to reach out to the EPA and Congresswoman Saunders' office. You know, she's responded, trying to get the EPA to fund some of this. They don't have any funds available for this, so we're really trying to shake the trees any place we can to try to get the neighborhood some relief. You know, whether that's, you know, purchasing the homes or, you know, just getting it done quicker. Which we're trying to get this process moving as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's got to be tough for them.
It's completely unacceptable. It really is. There's a new operator in there. He's an operator. He's worried about pumping gas. The owner of the property of the gas station hasn't been super cooperative with anybody. So it's making sure that everything's filed on time, people are being paid, so the process continues. The state stepped in a couple of times at this point, and you know, it's just what's gone on up there is just unacceptable, and the total cleanup's going to go on for another 2 years.
Wow.
And that's just unbelievable.
That's horrible. To try and end on a more positive note, I want to talk about Memorial Beach. What's going on up there? Everyone's still free to go up there? Or
Everyone's still free to go up there. We have a little constraint this year with our summer activities. The wading pool at Hildreth School is open. The wading pool at Bigelow School is not open. We're still in the construction period. We should be finished up there with the entire park and parking lot and everything in the next 6 weeks. So we didn't want to have construction going on while the pool was open and parking issues and everything else. So Hildreth School is closed. I'm sorry, Bigelow School is closed at this point. Hildreth School is open, and the beach with all its new renovations is open. It's obviously something people need to just get down there, and even if they only have time to get out for an hour just to check it out. It's really turned out great, and we're expecting a big year down there. And again, for this year, it's going to be free.
Yeah, I mean, everything looks great that I've seen down there. So.
No, they did a great job. It really is. We've got more comments about the beach renovation than probably anything else I've been involved in 22 years.
Is that right?
So.
Well, we know where in Marlboro people like to go then,
That's
don't we?
for sure. That's for sure. It's clean, it's safe, and we want to bring in more amenities that the residents are looking for down there. Right now we have, you know, the playground, the basketball courts, handicap accessibility up on the beach. The snack shack's open with, you know, having some snacks available for the people up there, and we just want to make it so people are comfortable going up there and they can enjoy their day.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Mayor, as usual, thank you for your time.
This
Appreciate
is great.
it.
Thank you. Anytime. Next one, maybe we'll do it up there.
Yeah, how about that? Let's do that. So you have been watching Corner Office from Mayor Arthur Vigeant. I'm Dan Guindon. See you next time.